My name is Khulekani Mathe. I am the CEO of Business Unity South Africa. So today we are at Focus Rooms in Fontaine, where we are hosting a conference. And the theme of the conference is Sustaining Progress. Because we have, as a country, been participating in the various conferences of parties, COPs, where commitments are made by the global community and by ourselves towards measures necessary to address the climate change and related issues. And so we decided that as a leading business organization, we need to host this conference where we discuss how it affects business, how it affects different parts of business and different sectors of the economy, because the impacts are not the same in all sectors of the economy. But more importantly, BUSA used to host every year events called Business Economic Indaba at the beginning of the year, where we brought together leaders both in government and business to talk about the economy. We were interrupted by COVID, and we decided that let us reinstate those conversations. Let us bring together leaders. Let us bring together people to have conversations about issues that are affecting South Africa, but more importantly, that are affecting our economy. So we staged this conference today as a start in a series of many that we will be staging. I liked what Minister of Finance said in Parliament when he was when he was presenting what has become known as Budget 3.0, where he said that the only sustainable way to address all of the challenges that we face is through economic growth. And he said economic growth must be our national obsession. I think we really do want everybody to understand that if we do not focus on growing the economy, everything that we care about, all of our national development objectives are going to fall short. And so growth is important. Anything that affects growth, we need to think about, we need to have a solution to. So as a leading an apex business organization in South Africa, committed to growing the South African economy, committed to bringing people together to have meaningful conversation. More importantly, committed to collaboration, committed to partnership. Because the challenges that we are facing, not just as a country, but as a global community, require us to work together. We cannot succeed if we go it alone, whether as government or as business or any other subsector of the economy. We have got to work together, address these challenges for the betterment of our own society, and the world requires everybody to work together. So what is happening currently in the world, where you see what has been built over many years known as multilateralism, essentially where different countries in the world come together and agree on what is good for the world. We see that coming under attack, and that is going to set us back. We do believe in collaboration, in pulling together, because the challenges that we face do not discriminate. The challenges we face are going to affect the rich, they're also going to affect the poor, and we need to work together to address them. And so collaboration is at the center of what we do. We bring different sectors of society and different sectors of the economy together and have conversation, and this is one of many. And so we hope that in future we will have you also become part of our conversations.
Talk to the G20 coming up in November, the role that BUSA is playing, which is a very big role. We know Mr. Mkojo also is involved with the B20. Talk to some of the upcoming engagements.
So the G20 it really stands for Group of 20 countries, 20 leading economies in the world. We made it in South Africa and are part of the G20. Each year, a different country amongst the G20 holds the presidency of the G20, so rotating. It's been rotating over the years, and this year is South Africa's turn to hold the presidency. The presidency of the G20 is responsible for that year to really set the agenda for what the leaders and the different sectors within the G20 countries need to discuss, what sort of policies they need to concern themselves with. It's a wonderful opportunity to be given a driving seat of global economic policies over this year, to be the country that leads all of that. So that is the government part of it. Now, the G20 has different what is called engagement forums. In our case, the business engagement forum of the G20 is the B20, so where all major businesses in the countries of the G20 come together and say, what can we recommend to our governments as policies that are good for the economy, policies that are good for growth, but policies that also make sure that we drive development from a business point of view. Last year, Brazil led the G20 and the B20. We participated. We learned a lot about how to run things. And so this year, from a business point of view, we are in the driver's seat as BUSA. Our president is the co-chair of the B20, together with Ms. Khulekani Mathe of Business Leadership South Africa. There again, these business leaders of ours have the opportunity to corral the world business leaders together and say, what policies do we want to put together during the South African presidency to all the governments of the G20s as good policies. We've decided that being in the African continent and the only African country that is part of the G20, we would also involve our brothers and sisters, businesses from the African continent, to be part of this. So in the various structures of the B20, we have business leaders from the continent so that we can produce out of these B20 proposals that work not just for South Africa, but for the continent as a whole.